Hey everyone, and welcome to the Gold Level Daily Dose number 4. Today we'll continue our discussion on intermittent fasting. In summary, you need to have 1 up to 3 Shibboleth approved meals within a specific time frame of your choosing in order to call that day an intermittent fasting day. And remember, there's no grazing. If you're a beginner, you might want to start with a 12-hour fasting period. You'll need to have at least a 12-hour fasting period over a 24-hour day of time, including sleep, in order to have an intermittent fasting day. A 16-hour fast is better than a 12-hour fast. And for some of you savages out there, you may really want to push the envelope and do a 20-hour fast. Examples of timing windows during your day would be like this. You could choose an eating schedule of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. In other words, you're going to begin your first meal somewhere between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and then you're going to have up to 2 more meals during that time frame. But at 6 p.m. you're going to cut it off. There's going to be no grazing. So you've got a feeding window, if we will. You got a feeding window. It sounds like vampires or something, doesn't it? You've got a feeding window of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. giving you a 12-hour fast. Now, we like this a lot better, something like this. Now, it doesn't matter how you get your 16-hour fast in as far as when you start your time, when you end your time, but I wanted to give examples. So you could also do something like this to pull off a 16-hour fast. You could say, I'm going to start eating around 10 a.m. and I'm going to stop eating at 6 p.m. In between that window, you're going to have 1 up to 3 meals. Now, on a 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. feeding schedule, I like to do 2 meals. And if I do have a third, it's something very light, something pre-digested, like maybe high-protein soup or a health-wise hot chocolate, something like that. Then you can even do this. I like to do this one a lot. A 12 p.m. to a 6 p.m. feeding window. That gives you an 18-hour fast. Now, it's tough if you're a beginner. It's not so tough once you get used to it. But if you do pull off 2 or 3 days in a row of an 18-hour fast and you use Shibboleth approved meals and only 2 of them, and if you did have to have a 3, it'd be kind of pre-digested like health-wise hot chocolate or high-protein soup, you're talking about explosive fat burn over that 3-day period. And then you've got the savage day, really. You start your feeding window at 12 p.m. and you end it at 4 p.m. That's a 20-hour fast. I call this the vampire one. I call it the vampire one, except for kind of flipping the script. You know, the vampires, they feed at night. Well, what goes wrong with us is that, you know, we feed at night and we gain weight. Vampires didn't gain weight, but we gain weight. We gain a lot of weight when we feed at night. When you're choosing your fasting windows, your timing periods, when am I going to start eating, when am I going to stop eating, when you're choosing them, if you can choose them, it's not mandatory, but if you can choose them, whereby you don't eat when the sun is down, you're going to also see better results. That's a fantastic way to look at this. A lot of people don't realize when the sun goes down, the metabolism is hardwired to slow down. That's why people say, like me, for many years I worked 3rd shift in a carpet mill, and my whole body was just, it throws it for a loop. You might get used to 3rd shift, but you are not supposed to be awake at night. You're supposed to be in recovery mode. Did you know that your brain only begins to secrete the growth hormone that you need for recovery, IGF-1? You're only going to get that secretion from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. because that's the only time your brain it knows you're supposed to be asleep. And even if you're awake, that's when you're going to get that release of IGF. See, when you lay down at night, your body goes into full recovery mode. When the sun goes down, your body is hardwired for the metabolism to begin coming on down. That's why when you wake up in the morning, you're a little groggy at first. The body's been in hibernation mode. It's been in recovery mode. And it takes a little while to get going, but then you get going, the metabolism's coming back up. The sun goes down, it's a trigger to your brain, and your metabolism begins to go down. So any day, even if you're doing a regular Shibboleth perfect day, any day you can, of course, stick to your meals and portions, but any day that you can avoid any eating, any feeding that has calories in it, any time that you can avoid that, when the sun goes down until the sun comes back up, man, you get such better results and your body will begin to slowly recover and heal even faster. That's why I brought up the little vampire thing. I like to think of it like that. It's like, except for I'm a vampire by day. I can only feed while the sun is up. I cannot feed while the sun is down. And it's just a way to look at it, a fun game to play with yourself, have a little fun. So choose your time and window, stick to it, declare, hey, Wednesday's going to be an intermittent fasting day. And I'm going to exercise my self-discipline muscle and I'm going to get it done. One day of intermittent fasting each week is a lot better than no days. Even having 1 or 2 intermittent fasting days per week can assist in rapid and efficient fat loss, healing, and rejuvenation. In one of the subsequent daily doses, I'm going to talk about why intermittent fasting causes crazy healing and rejuvenation of the body. It also allows you to exercise your self-discipline muscles as already stated. Think of it this way. A lot of us that have a food addiction problem, we've given ourselves over to the habit. We have lost our self-discipline, but it's still there. It's just like a muscle that hasn't been used because we're so used to, during the day, we're trying to abstain from foods we're not supposed to have. We get tempted, and instead of using self-discipline to abstain from the treat, to abstain from the temptation, we just give ourselves over to it. So the self-discipline muscle, just like an unworked bicep muscle, like an unworked quadricep muscle, it begins to atrophy. Those of you that say, I have no self-discipline, you're wrong. That muscle is still there. It's a God-given muscle. You've got it. You've just got to begin to exercise it one day at a time, and then your self-discipline is going to come back. Now, I got one more caveat for you. With a regular perfect day, if you have a holiday, it takes 2 more perfect days to get an efficient fat burning. With an intermittent fasting day, it only takes, if you do it right, if you really follow the protocol, 1 intermittent fasting day puts you back in efficient fat burning after 1 day. So what does that look like? So let's say I go out on Friday night and I have a holiday and it's a hog trough day. I mean, I let my hair down on Friday night. I worked hard all week so I could play hard on Friday night. And I go out Friday night and I have a big feast and I have a hog trough day. So usually after that hog trough day, it would take me 2 perfect days to get back in EFB. If after that day, that hog trough day, you have 1 intermittent fasting day, especially if you're doing 2 meals, you're right back in efficient fat burning after 1 perfect day back on the program. As long as it was an intermittent fasting day, Shibboleth style. Okay, so that's terrific, and that's what we're going to explore in the next daily dose, is how you can go out, have that holiday, you put on a little bit of that water weight, how to get it off quicker with intermittent fasting days. I hope you're enjoying this format, these short videos that come to you daily. I'm going to be sending these Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So like next week, we'll be on daily dose number 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I hope you learn this stuff. Hope you're having a good time. We're going to have another support meeting, a live support meeting Saturday. I'll be getting that to y'all. And that's going to be a more lengthy one. We're trying a different format, little short videos during the week. Then we'll have that kind of a round table discussion, if you will, with as many people that need to come into the Zoom room and ask questions about Waste Away and Shibbolethville Challenge. I hope you're enjoying this stuff. I'm enjoying teaching you. I'm enjoying seeing the results. It's going to be a fantastic year if you decide that it's going to be a fantastic year. I'll see you next time.